Hey y'all, what's going on, people? Tuesday. I missed my mogul Monday. My moguls were busy. I'm gonna give y'all a quick minute. Just want to reach out to all the replay viewers. Please type in replay. Let me know where you are tuning in from, and let me know at the end of the video if you feel like it gave you any value or if you think it will help someone. So also, I want to jump in right quick. I came in at this time because I know I have to be quick because I have to go pick up my daughter. Hey, Miss Stephanie, how are you, honey? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's a little... Ooh, I really tried to hold off on it, but I had to go ahead and get it out. But I'm jumping on quick, and I came on because I know at 3:10ish I gotta leave to go pick up my daughter, so I hope I'm not gonna be on really long. um I'm gonna try my best, but I know every time I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and get it out. So I had been let me think, this probably popped in my head Friday, something like that. But you know, I was so focused on the Panthers that I was just like, hey, I can't get that deep because my mind, you know, I gotta be Panther. You see, I'm still in my shirt, straight out of left. I had to stay Panther ready and all that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it because hopefully whoever wants to hear it, they will catch the replay. But you know, this is something that's so crazy and funny to me, what I have been thinking about. Okay, I'm in this entrepreneur like support group, and we have a lot of people in there that, you know, kind of talk about having trouble like cutting certain people out of their life, or you know, kind of switching up their page a little bit, you know, kind of cutting some stuff out because it really doesn't align with their business or the way that they want their business to go, things like that. So you know, people really you know, they kind of have this question, to prune or not to prune. Should I not? Should I get people, you know, should I leave people alone, out with the old, in with the new? What should I do? You know, because in this group, they did mention that, and please, when you come on, let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Miss Tina, Stephanie, I know you're in the Houston area. Miss Tina, I know you're in the Lufkin area, but I like to do it to make sure you guys can hear me. So Stephanie, I know you can hear me really well. We've already been chatting a little bit. But a lot of times it was a group of us, and it came to the point where they said you had to kind of like clean up your page a little bit, or your social media presence or whatever. Okay, look, Stephanie, that's where I wish I could be. I really wish. Hey, Miss Tina. But it's like, let me get into it. You know, like pruning is so crazy because here in Lufkin, when was that? Thursday or so is when it did the little snow episode, right? And Stephanie, I'm just saying it because I know you was funny on your post about snow. Okay, whatever. But for us, it was snow. Hey, Miss Pookie. So it was snowing a little bit, right? And I don't know why that day I was sitting there. So this actually came to me Thursday. So I was sitting there and I was like, man, you know, a lot of times you really have to cut people off, or cut or limit. You know, hey, Miss Jaleesa, you got to limit who's around you, who's in your inner circle, or you know, just really adjust on those close to you if you're really trying to get to a specific point. Okay, so you know, pruning most of the time is done in winter, when, you know, trees, shrubs or whatever are kind of dormant. So the whole process of the pruning is, you know, you cut some dead leaves and dead, you know, stems and all that. You cut away all this old stuff that's clogging up a bush or weighing down the bush or whatever, so that it actually can grow better when spring comes around. It'll be bigger, it'll be more plush, it'll be thick, it'll be, you know, all this good stuff with pruning. And it took me to this story, which it was really crazy because I remember when I was at my house in Dallas, I had this these shrubs, you know, like in the front, and it was like a flower bed, and I had this really big thing like on the corner, but I don't even know what it was. It was there before I got there, of course. But I really liked it because when it bloomed and all that, the leaves were like this purple burgundy kind of look, and it just really went good with the brick on my house. My brick was gray, and it kind of had like the little chips with the burgundy popping through. So I was like, oh, whoever did this, they really thought it out. but you could tell they hadn't been really kept up. They weren't trimmed or anything. So this guy that was, I guess, the lawn service for my alley neighbor, he was like, oh, you want me to do your yard, do this and do that? And I'm like, well, okay, cool. Yeah, I really don't know anybody over here. But the crazy part, I had saw this guy like doing work for the city. So I didn't know if he worked for the city or if he actually was like contracted with the city. But anyway, because he was working with the city, I assumed that he knew what to do, So I kind of was like, okay, yeah, I'm on my way out. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I just told him, like, on my bushes on the front, I knew it wasn't time to, prune. I just like, can you trim them back? Just make them look neat. That one on the corner, can you kind of trim that or whatever? Because if you were driving down the front of the street, I was a single woman living with my daughter. So I was like, that is kind of really, really big. And at night, people can't see behind there. So, like, if somebody's coming or trying to break in my house, they could easily like just slide up behind this bush and cars could pass by and nobody would see. I said, so can you just make sure you trim that one on the side? Just keep everything good. He's like, okay, yeah, I got you. No problem, whatever. Come back home, an hour or two later, and I'm, checking my mail, which is across the street. And I look, and my beautiful shrubs and little whatever tree that was looked like a crackhead that got a hold to him. And so I'm like, what the? So needless to say, he had did a little pruning when he should have been just trimming. Hey, Miss Daphne. So, it took forever for that to even grow back. Never, even when I moved, it hadn't grew back the way it was before, because he did the cutting at the wrong time. So let me tell y'all what it came to mind for me. A lot of these people in this group were having issues or concerns about cutting, like old friends, people that they hadn't talked to in years, but due to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, they had been reconnected. But when they started looking and talking to these people, not really talking to them, just kind of looking at their pages or whatever, the content and the stuff that they were putting up, they were on two different ends of the spectrum. This one is over here still clubbing, smoking, drinking, got the pictures with the blunts in their hands and all that kind of stuff, where the other person was really trying to, connect and put themselves around, boss type people, entrepreneurs, owners, CEOs, things like that. So they were kind of torn. But the thing that tripped me out, I don't really have an issue cutting people, so to speak, because I really don't have a lot. I have a lot of associates. I don't say I have a lot of friends, because I really always kept my circle very, very small. So it's no issue for me to kind of, I can still be cordial, but as far as conversation and things like that, I don't expect that a lot from a lot of people. But the thing about pruning, it's so funny that people don't want to do it, because at first, aesthetically, it's not cute. It doesn't look good. It's not pleasing to the eye. It's not the look that you want. So a lot of times you kind of hesitate, because you're thinking, if I do this, what are they going to think? Or if I say this, what are they going to say, or what are they going to think? Hey, Miss Lisa. So it's a lot of, kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. I'm not sure. They're going to say that I think I'm better than them. I think I'm this, I think I'm that. It's not even about that. You got to look at, if you're trying to build something, you have to do you have to make sure it's built solid. You have to make sure that everything is done at the right time. Everything is in place at the right time, because what if you grow your business huge and you got all your friends, all these high school associates, all of these people with you, and let's say you make it up there to millionaire status, and then you feel like, you can kind of relax. You're like, okay, I can kind of chill, I can do this. And then you kind of like take your eye off your business, and you turn around and you've been gone traveling, maybe speaking some business here, but a lot of more personal stuff into it. Yes, ma'am, Stephanie, alignment, a lot more stuff into it. And then you look back and your company has almost plummeted, and now you got to try to rush all the way back and figure out, in the midst of, let's say it's a corporation, and let's say you got 400 employees. Now you got to try to figure out which out of those 400 is the problem. Whereas if you would have did that at the beginning when it was just you, and it was maybe one, you know, and you was doing this as you grew, you would already know if y'all aligned, if your mindsets were the same, if your goals were the same, or even if they were different. Is it something that could be beneficial to you and your business, or beneficial to both of you guys, and grow your, and you know, and grow the business, right? So the crazy part, I was really wanting to maybe really strictly focus on business pruning, so to speak, but it overlaps with your personal life. Hey, Miss Bettina, it overlaps so much, because lots of times small business owners, entrepreneurs, you are your business, you are it. So if you don't make sure that you're good and your circle is good and the people that you're around are good and the people that are pouring into you are pouring the right stuff, then it's not going to grow. The foundation is not going to be solid. Point blank, period. There's no way. Okay, so you look and you say, what, as far as me, what are some of my habits, or what are some of my, what's some things I need to cut, or some things I need to change to make sure that as I'm growing, hey, Stephanie, all day long, strictly dead weight. You know, I think I said it one time before on another live. I know a lot of people really hang around, hey William, hang around people because they want to be there just in case they make it, or they want the benefits, they want the overflow of the success, so they can, you know, hang out with them, travel with them, go party with them, get, you know, all this, get the free stuff with them or whatever, just so they can, but they really don't mean that person any good. They could care less, you know, because if they don't make it, they just gonna go slide up to the next person. So you gotta look at like your habits, that inner circle is really important. Real talk. Hey Randy, it's really, really important, because if you really don't get that done early, it's going to be hard for you later. Timing is very, very important when it comes to you making sure that your business is successful. Not just the business. Let's say, I'm going to use myself for an example. If I'm studying for, hey Randy, glad you did too. If I'm studying for like NCLEX, RN test, and my plan says you need to set aside 6 weeks to study, you know, for this test. But me thinking, okay, I've been a nurse for so long and I'm just ready to get it over with, I maybe put 3 weeks into it, and then I go take the test and don't pass the test. Well, I can't blame anyone but myself, because I didn't give it a solid 6 weeks. Like the program said, I didn't give it a solid 6 weeks. Plus I was working. Plus I, you know, had my daughter in activities. So I didn't give it the time that it needed for me to make sure that the return on my investment was going to be good. Right? Okay, Randy, I really love, you know, I love those hearts. So thank you so much. But you have to look at the time that's spent around certain people. So, you know, like when you first start, a lot of times, even if it's a physical business, you're like the CEO to the janitor. You come in, when you walk in, you turn the key, you make sure everything is in order. You make sure everything is, you know, straightened up. You make sure the room looks nice. Because if you got clients or you got, you know, potential customers coming in, you want to make sure your presentation, the first impression is good, right? So you want to make sure that everything looks good. But that doesn't mean because you get up here, you know, that you can never sweep a floor anymore. You just because, okay, now you're on the Inc. 500, Fortune 500. Hey, Sean, that now you don't have to make sure that the windows are clean anymore. You don't have to make sure the trash is taken out. You don't have to make sure. No. You have to make sure all of that stuff is done until you put yourself in a position that you don't have to. And even then, you're overseeing and you're overlooking. So in doing that, even hiring or partnering up, because a lot of people that I deal with, we are like more social, you know, entrepreneur, virtual businesses. I mean, there is some physical aspect to it, but a lot of stuff we do is here online, social media. So you have to make sure the people, and Stephanie, honestly, that's why I love your page. I love your audios, your lives, and all that good stuff. Yeah, you treat whatever you think is the lowest position, you treat them the same as a CEO, because that fall down, you passing all them people up that you know, turned your nose up or that you said a nasty word to, and you never know, that might be the hand that you need to pull you back up or to even help you up and start over. So you don't treat people any kind of way just based on a title. But Stephanie, honestly, I like your page because it is really positive all the time. It's inspiring. It's stuff that you can apply, to, or make you even look inside and say, do I have that check or no? Let me work on that. So I love that. And most people that I am connected to, that's how they think. That's how they operate their life. They're always trying to do better. It's not about, oh, I've arrived, and so I am the, coach of the year. No, it ain't about that, because most people, most millionaires, when they make it to that's when their eyes truly open and they say, oh my God, I didn't realize it was this easy, or it was this hard, or whatever, but now I know how to do it, and now I'm finna go do it 10 times faster than I did it before. So you have to cut off certain people, those negative mindsets, those what do you call it, like those negative Nancy's, Debbie Downers. You got to cut them people off, or just limit your time, But I want to tell people, though, it's truly a difference between trimming and cutting. It's a difference, y'all, between trimming and cutting. So cutting means pruning. It's a difference, because I never forget, I never forget this one person. They was telling me, well, I just don't deal with them when it comes to business, but I still, I kick it with them. That's my friend. I grew up with them. It's a person, I can't just drop them. That's true. But I do remember this person got so far and was stuck, and they couldn't figure out why. And they was just stuck. It didn't matter what they did, whatever strategy they came up with, whatever, whatever new program they implemented, whatever they tried to do, they still never could make it toward this certain mark, right? Because, unfortunately, the mindset of the people that they were hanging around was still stuck back in 90, 91, 92. And they were still into, God forgive me, because there ain't nothing wrong with it, but they were still into coming up off the government, having Section 8, getting, food. They were too busy trying to figure out how to beat the system, work the system, versus work. Like, okay, ain't nothing wrong with you. You perfectly fine. You're not disabled. You just have a bunch of kids, and strategically, after a couple of kids, you kept having more kids. Okay, honestly speaking, you can't have a person that's looking to reach the ceiling or the sky or whatever, the clouds. You can't have that person around a person that's content with just, Stephanie, no offense, but just sitting on the couch, watching TV all day. You can't, y'all aren't here. Y'all don't see eye to eye. Y'all goals are not the same. Friends, it could be, but when it comes to your professional and business goals, it's just, we're not on the same page anymore. And I can love you without hanging around you. I can still be cordial with you without being around you all the time. I can still make sure culture our friendship without me being weighed down, because a lot of times people will try to guilt you into helping them, or not bringing them along, or carrying them along, and stuff like that. We ain't got time for no guilt trips over here. I don't, anyway. Even my daughter will tell you, it's only so much, certain things she know I don't play about. Period. Amen. Because you in my you in my little lesson, because I sure had it about, and I just didn't want to go there, but like I had made a little note about, you're on Facebook still posting all of these, club and twerk videos, versus over here clicking links to how to grow a business, or how to do some self work, or how to do, like my friends say, inner engineering, trying to build. It's a difference. Like, I really don't want to see it. I'm going to hide you. And if I see it again, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to go on and delete you, because we really don't talk, because we really don't have any common conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of that pruning, we take it like personal, and saying, oh, people are going to think this certain way, and they're going to think that I feel like that I'm better. No. Anybody that knows me, what's up, Desmond Boye Kelly? It's something that you have to do now, because you got to sacrifice a little bit now in the beginning, because in the end of it, the whole goal in the end is you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is successful, whatever you're doing is profitable, whatever you're doing, it is the bomb. It's like, people can look back and say, I remember 2 years ago when she was going live all the time. I know, I sure did, Des, didn't I? You know, I can remember when people are asking, like I have people asking me all the time, hey, Lois, hey, Miss Shauna, I have people asking me all the time, what are you doing? You just live like every day. You live, and I'm not, and the crazy part, I'm not live every day. But unfortunately, some stuff I can't reveal. I mean, it ain't like it's a secret, but you doing you and I'm doing me. So just let me, you know, it's a method to my madness. Just let me do me. Like, I ain't bothering nobody. I'm in my own lane. I'm just rolling at my own speed. I'm in my own lane. You know, I mean, it is what it is. It's a bigger, like, I'm not the popcorn microwave society type person. I didn't grow up in that society. I didn't grow up in that generation. I grew up in, like, the generation where your mom and daddy got married and they stayed married for 40 years regardless if it was good or not. The generation where your parents went to a job and they worked that job for 40 years, 20, 30, 40 years, regardless if they liked it or not. I mean, I listened to somebody come home. My mama, she came home every day complaining at least 3 times a week about her job, but she didn't leave that job. You know, it was the mindset of, you get somewhere, if they treat you good and they do, you know, they okay, you stay there and you ride that thing out till you get that watch, till you get that, what is it? Get your talk show so you can do it. Okay, Des, I ain't really, oh, Des, you know what? I'm not a talk show, but hey, tell me what you can do. Let's get it. You know, I don't mind running my mouth. You know how I do it. I just like to shoot the, you know. But no, you know, we are so different. Everybody, like, I have never, y'all, I've never been comfortable at a job. Never. But what I do, I try to get to that job, get what I can get, grab all the knowledge, every training that they'll send me to, every position that they want me to do, even though everybody else is running from it. Like, I don't want you, so, you know, it's more on me, but I'll take it because that just builds my resume. You know, that kind of helps me. That's another skill or another area that I have knowledge about. So I take it on, you know. May not want to initially. Most of the time it's like, no, I ain't trying to do that. I'm good. I just want to clock in and clock out. But when I really go home and think about it, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll be this preceptor. Which every job I went to, I don't know why, they was like, well, can you be our trainer? Can you yeah, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Not that I really wanted to, because I don't like people over me. And when you train, guess what? Somebody is always looking over your shoulder. But I took it on because I felt like I'm always trying to, every year, it's stuff on my list that I kind of like don't like, or I shy away from. Every year I try to tackle 2 or 3 of those. And so that thing with people being over me, that was a huge thing. And so that's why I would take on the preceptor jobs. Plus they paid me more. Plus, I had like a little bit, you know, I knew everybody that came in the door because then I had to train them. So I had relationships with everybody. And so then people truly got to know me. They knew that even though I'm not a morning person at all whatsoever, it's not that I just don't like you. I just don't probably talk to you before 10 or 11 o'clock. I'll say good morning and stuff like that. But the little conversation I'm not going to have. Hey, Miss Sabrina. So, when you realize, you know, that the trimming and the pruning are not the same, that'll make the big difference. You can't just kind of slide by and try to walk that thin line and still think that you're going to make it. Like I had this person on my, you know, with what I do, health and wellness. And so we have like a 90-day, you know, kind of like reboot, re-cleanse, cleanse, what is it? Wrap, cleanse, and reboot or something. I don't even know anymore. But it's a 90-day program basically. And so people felt like that because they bought the products that they were going to lose weight. Booski, if you buy the products but they still sitting on the shelf, it ain't gonna happen. So just because you're a part of the club or you're a member doesn't mean that you're going to get the desired results. That it just don't happen that way. You don't get the desired results if you don't put in the work. If you take the, you know, the stuff 3 days, 4 days, a week, and it didn't do what you thought it was going to do in a week, and then you stop, no, you're not going to get the 90-day results. And you're 45. So wherever you at, it took you 45 years to get you there, and you're expecting a 7-day miracle. I don't get it. I mean, I can share, and people that know me, I give them everything that I have in regards to making you successful on whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so like with my weight loss thing, you get free meal plans. You have access to a personal trainer within my group. All kind of tips and, you know, everything. Like you have whatever, and you can ask all day long. They can ask all these questions, and they don't just have one meal plan. We have like 4 meal plans in that group, because now, everybody is keto. I'm paleo. I'm low carb, high, fat. I'm Atkins. I'm whatever. Everybody does something different. We have all of that. I'm more in the sports performance. I need more okay, we got that. We got, we have so many different programs that if you come in there and look and you see what fits kind of what you do already or goes in line with what you're trying to do already, then all you got to do is follow it. But that's the problem. A lot of us do not follow, let's say, the directions, so to speak, or the we don't do it the way it's, the way it says to do it, the recommended usage. We don't do it that way. So we sit in and we say, okay, I bought the stuff, but I'm going to take it my way. I'm not going to take it the way she told me to take it. And like I had this issue where there's 2 products that we have that if you take them together, they work really well. They complement each other very well. But if you take them together, guess what they do? Cancel, null and void. It cancels each other out. And I kept telling people this over and over. I kept reiterating it over and over. I kept posting about it over and over. But they were seeing or reading, but not comprehending or not really truly listening. They saw it, but they didn't apply. So they had the knowledge, but they didn't apply that knowledge. So guess what? They wasted money. And they still won't accept, responsibility or accountability that it was on me. She gave me the info. I just said, F it. I'm going to do it how I want to do it. Because it was me, my money. I paid for it. But see, you didn't have the inside track on some of the stuff that I have the inside track on for it. That's, just that simple. Not saying, because it's 15 other people that have taken it, it's worked, got results. They won't share them, however, publicly, but got good results. 10, 15, 20 something pounds. I think the most has been like 28 pounds. So it will work. You just got to make sure you do it as directed, or you do it as, use it as directed. So when you get into like the pruning part of it, and it's so weird because I try to put it in business, but it really goes back to your personal life. You have to do it there first. Because whatever is going on with you personally, it's going to spill over into your business life or business, aspect of it. And so like, if you are afraid to cut people off, you're not ready. If you are, if you're scared of like, okay, well, I can't like go live. Y'all know I get on here and I will be thinking one thing and it'll get on here and switch totally something different. I could say I don't like my accent, because I don't. I could say I hate the way, my eyebrows look, because people in Lufkin obviously can't arch eyebrows. I don't know what the deal is. It's just all kind of different stuff. I could give you 1,500 excuses why I can't do something. But you never know. That may be the one thing. I'm talking about that one thing that blows you up. So that's why I try to tackle stuff that really, yes, for real, Stephanie, it is. I've done a few. I've done maybe 2 of those. And I may do more, like I like to do them late at night. Like one time I did one kind of late, just because it was late and I was in the bed, but I still wanted to say something. But you really have to, you have to be not careful, but also you have to be confident with what you're doing and how you're moving. And like, everybody don't deserve, like when I was telling y'all, people are asking me, what are you doing? Everybody don't deserve to know all the details in the beginning, because you're trying to build something. And a lot of times people are just being nosy. They really don't want to, they don't care really if you're good or bad, if you make it or not, whatever. They just want to be in the mix. And so then like some things you may have going on that you may mention or utter to somebody, and then they go and tell the one person that you didn't want to know, or that really didn't need to know it at that time, and they mess up the whole deal. So a lot of stuff is timing. Pruning is about timing. You can't cut something in the middle of, like in springtime, and get the best effects of it. But if you do it in the winter, I know this, I do like to run my mouth. But if you do stuff when it's supposed to be done, the right timing, the results normally are 10 times better. Okay, so like my little bush situation, that little story, my shrubs never grew back in the 6 years that I was at that place, it never grew back the way they were initially because he cut them at the wrong time. He did a cut when he should have been doing a trim. Hey, Miss Vera, it had nothing to do. He just was in there probably laser focus on, let me cut this, let me do this. She said, no, but he was the expert. He was the landscaper. I'm not. I just said I wanted you to trim this down. He could have said, okay, cool, yeah, I'll trim them down, and then when winter comes, we'll go ahead and we'll prune, and we'll take off all the dead leaves and the little, low-lying branches and stuff like that. We'll take off all this stuff, and we'll do stuff with the trees so that your grass can grow, because the trees are blocking the sun, and he's the expert. So he should have been like, hey, we'll do this, but we got to do it at the right time, versus let me just do this and get this money and keep moving on. Like, he got my money once and I never called him again. I'd rather pay some little kids in the neighborhood. So you have to really be careful about how you prune and cut people off, and cut things off. So listen, I spent 30 minutes and still didn't get to the meat of my pruning situation. So let me tell y'all what I'm going to do. I am going to do a part 2 because I want to dig a little deeper into it. I'm talking about like the real. This was just like the surface. It was giving you a overview of kind of how pruning can be beneficial. But I'm going to come back, and it may be tonight, I'm not sure. I'm going to come back and I'm going to get really into the meat of how I really saw or see pruning. Hey, Miss CC. So guys, listen, I know it was a little rambling or whatever, but I really want to tell you that because I know a lot of people kind of get what do you call it, they like, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to hurt anybody, or I don't want to. It's not about that. You have to take care of self first. You have to make sure you're good first and foremost above everything else, or people around you, or people, your kids and stuff like that, they're not going to be good. So you have to make sure you're good first. Okay, good people, listen, I gotta go. I want to tell you guys thank you, because I have been getting so many inboxes. It's been really fun to like come in and answer little questions that you guys have asked in regards to some of the topics that I brought up. But let me tell you this, and let me remind you something. Remind you of something. It doesn't matter where you are right now today. What's today? December 11th or 12th? December 12th. It doesn't matter where you are today. If you have a goal or dream to be better, do better, get better, you can make that decision today. Like, it doesn't have to be January 1st. You can do it today. So as always, I'm going to leave asking you, what is your plan B? Think about it. Let me know. Post it in the comments. If you think this helped anybody, or you think it's some good information, you can share it if you don't mind. And tag some people. Tag them and say, hey, this might be something you want to look into, or this is something that we just talked about. But listen, guys, I'm going to go. I don't know what day. I don't know. I'm going to put it on my page. I'll let you guys know when I'll come back and finish up on it. But I really want you guys to think about it. Think about the things that you need to trim, and think about the things that you need to cut. What do you truly need to prune to make sure that 2018 is bigger, larger, expansive? Make sure that's hugely better than your 2017. What is it? Post it in the comments. Let me know, and I will chat with you guys later. Des, have a good day. I need to hook up with you. Actually, I'm going to hook up with you for real, because I got something coming up next month, and I'll be up in the Houston area for about 5 months, okay? But I'll hit you later. You guys have a good Tuesday. I am going to go pick up Pookie Jean from school, and I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and we'll chat soon, okay? Thanks, kids.